sunshine shining. Florida's the place, gardens growing. We've got that grace. You should join us, making life better, better. Live with South Florida sunshine diva. In the dirt, our time. Can you see the blossoms? 'Cause here they bloom. Dance with your neighbor, dance for your friends. Live for the moments, join the ocean breeze. Hearts and sing. Community strong, dreams we link. Let's grow together, making it brighter, brighter. Unity in our stride, passions right. In the gardens of life where we plant our pride. Live with South Florida sunshine diva. In the dirt, our time. Can you see the blossoms? 'Cause here they bloom. Dance with the neighbor, dance for your friends. And in Florida's the place, gardens growing. We've got that grace. You should join us, making life better, better. Live with South Florida sunshine diva. In the dirt, our time. Can you see the blossoms? 'Cause here they bloom. Dance with your neighbor, dance for your friends. Live for the moments, join the ocean breeze. Hearts and sing. Community strong, dreams we link. Let's grow together, making it brighter, brighter. Unity in our stride, passions right. In the gardens of life where we plant our pride. Live with South Florida sunshine diva. In the dirt, our time. Can you see the blossoms? 'Cause here they bloom.
Oh, I always hate the way that ends. I wish it would give me a little of an outro more.
Warning.
A little something. Hey, please welcome Storms, Radios, and Cats. He is my co-host tonight because the co-hostess with the mostest. Actually, she's the host usually of Saturday night. Miss Diva in the Dirt. Is that her job tonight? Yeah. Stomping ground for Sparkle Socks up there, trying to get some things to change. We're so proud of her.
And please welcome Miss Carol, South Florida Sunshine.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you. Thank you, Storms, Radios, and Cats.
You're welcome.
I am a little bit out of it tonight. We are preparing to go up to Epcot to see Switchfoot. My daughter wanted to see them. We had this plan before this hurricane came through with all its tornadoes and did its damage to Florida. So it feels a little bit weird to be going up there and celebrating and seeing a concert. And there's so many Floridians that aren't doing that great, but I promised it to my daughter, so I want to make good on it.
Hey, God's desire for me.
Yeah, thanks for coming in first, God's desire for me, and thanks for going over to Barry's too. And I appreciate you for doing that. And our Diva in the Dirt jumping in the side chat while it's a little slow there. We miss you, girl, dad cooking up deliciousness. I can't do it like Diva, of course, at all, but thank you for coming in. I'm gonna have to get that sound clip. I need that sound bite of her singing his name. It's just so good. But I'm trying to think. Today was kind of a slow day. I was tired from our 4-hour live last night.
Oh yeah.
The 4-hour tour.
I was dragging too.
Hey, Brutal Bob. Thanks for the
Bob.
hugs. We're now starting to Theron went out. When I woke up, he went out. He was going to clean my car and get it ready for the trip. And I was like, I'm going up into love bug territory. I'm like, I don't know if they're still up there right now this time of year or not, but they're like cement. Might as well just leave the dirt on. It might make it easier to get them off the car.
Yeah.
He was just like, well, I'm just concerned about, you getting the right mileage for the gas with any dirt on the car. I'm like, it's not that much dirt on the car. My God, man. Oh my goodness. So yeah, he ended up instead taking down our shutters that people can see from the road, and we're just going to keep the rest up pretty much. Yeah. Except for an exit to get out the back until we're through hurricane season. So he doesn't have to keep putting the whole house up, every time something comes close. So what have you been up to, sir? How have you been?
I was busy today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just
Got to the store.
I went to the store. A little unexpected, um, yeah, meeting there. I guess you can
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah. That's always nice
Yeah,
to like meet people at the store, especially,
yeah,
that's
she
like
was
me.
sweet.
Hey, Aiden, welcome in.
Hey, Aid.
Yeah, I'm staying home with Malachi, who, has struggles with talking, and I'm sure your cats struggle to talk too, like you would prefer. I'm sure
Yeah.
they do, and I'm sure they communicate in their own way, but
Oh, they fussed at me when they came home.
hey, ARD. Hey, resilient dad. Thank you. Right? We're trying to help. You've seen it here. Definitely seen it here in Florida, and then people going into winter and they deal with it too. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I'm not sure Shawnee might be coming in or not. She's having some family time right now. But she too, it's on her heart, and they're doing some prepping work, preparing for winter coming up there in Wisconsin, right? It's Wisconsin, right? No, Minnesota. Wisconsin?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. I always get those two confused in my brain for some reason. I don't know why. Please don't tell the people in Wisconsin and Minnesota that I do that, but I do.
I think you just did.
I guess I did just tell them all. Sorry. Maybe I just need some cheese from directly from the state of Wisconsin, and I wouldn't do that. Somebody could just mail me some really good cheese. Cheese cures a lot of ails for me, even though my body doesn't completely like it so much, but I love it. Kind of like how I love ice cream, but my body just makes me fat when I eat it.
Oh, don't even. Oh, that's.
You
I
forgot to pick some up.
wanted the peanut butter park from Edie's, right? And they
Mhm.
didn't have it. So Randall took me to the other Dollar General, the regular
Mhm.
Dollar General. They didn't have it either. And I was like,
Aw,
now what am I going to do? Because I don't like Rocky Road
right.
and the other stuff they had. And then I was like, what the heck was it? I got that big tub of vanilla. And I'm like, I can add anything I want to,
That's right. Make your
you
own
know.
flavors. That's
So,
right. Totally. Yeah. I can't put ice cream in the house now for quite a while after eating all those Haagen-Dazs bars before the two different hurricanes that we had. I polished off some Klondikes and some Haagen-Dazs bars through my anxiety. But one of the things that it's no matter where you're or why you're losing power that you should always have on hand is water, and that's something that we always keep here. We have rotational preps, and one of the rotational preps is water. I cannot wait to get um, the filter set up that a lovely subscriber sent me. I really want to be able to go and get a sink to put in. Like, we need a new kitchen sink and we need a new faucet. Because I just feel weird setting it up with those things that are probably got some. Well, the sink looks horrible. I don't know what they did in my sink. I think they were cooking drugs or something in our house before we got it.
oh no.
Yes, you can add Reese's to that ice cream. Yes. Yeah, any of that stuff sounds good. But yeah, definitely water, no matter what you're preparing for. Oh, what? Get out of here. Yep, whole paycheck. Not complaining because it could be worse, but we have generator. Good. Yeah. Wow. That stinks though, right after you went to the whole paycheck that you had that happen. I would love to get the Generac generators. Those are just, awesome. We do have a gas generator. Uh, Shawnee is the one who, like, they were testing theirs right away, and I'll let her tell her story. But ours is so old, it's only gas. It's not gas and propane. So you can't hook propane up to it. I wish it was a dual. But we have actually a mechanic looking at it because I thought my husband had been testing it every year to make sure it was ready for hurricane season, and he wasn't. And so it has not, it's sat in our garage probably for 20 years because our daughter's 26. And yeah, around that, not our garage and our room that we used to have off our townhouse, our storage room. It sat in there for a little while too. You have a water distiller? Yes. Oh, somebody was using one of those. That's great. Great idea. Yeah, and I've seen those huge 5-gallon jug stackers, and I wish I had a place for those, God's desire for me. So I could just stack up like 5-gallon jugs of water, and keep them aside. We only have a 1-car garage, so it's really like a storage unit. It's not a
Yeah.
garage. It's not really a
Built on
garage.
storage unit.
Yeah, like once my dad's stuff is in there that he gave me, all his tools and everything, and I have his workbench, and I have an armoire that, it's like a cabinet that matched it. Then we were able to get a free cabinet from my husband's work, was getting rid of it, and it's like a really nice heavy duty, like one of those plastics, kind of like step 2, but for guys and grown-ups. It's just heavy duty. So we have that in there. And then we were given a pressure washer, believe it or not, by our neighbors who ended up moving out. They were renters. And we're like, yeah, we'll take it, of course. Lawnmower, it just, it all adds up. And then we just don't have good shelving on the wall where we do have shelving. Where we have space. And that's what the next thing I want to do is put up some shelving. But yeah, so I don't have a place to stack 5-gallon jugs, but I think that is a really good idea. Having the distiller is a great idea. Having any sort of really good water purification system, good idea. Hold on to my garage. I still have space for my car, but yeah, we've never been able to park a car. This garage was tight to begin with. So we just never really thought we could park a car in it. It was just, we knew that it was probably never going to contain one of our cars. Maybe a golf cart. Maybe a golf cart. But yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a distiller though. I can't wait to see how well the water purification system works, but that's going to be coming from underneath. And I would like another one. Like I have the pictures and stuff, but hey, Abandoned and Forgotten Wells and Brenda.
Hey,
Duncan
Gareth.
1900 Homestead. Hey, Gareth, welcome in. And this is, I have my subscriber mode on. So, if other people who have been through this want to add to it, you're more than welcome to join us. If you've been through power outages, hurricanes, or even just power outages with rolling power outages in certain areas, that happens. And then, of course, power outages due to like winter storms or other types of storms. Barry, do you have any like set up to where you can purify any water, or do you usually just get jugs ahead of time and have a way to heat it up like during the winter?
I usually just keep water on hand from the tap. So I keep about 4 gallons of water, which I wish it was more, but for now it's just me. So
I have a 55-gallon barrel, but it's a rain barrel, and I could probably purify it from that, but we still need to set it up because I don't have help setting that up. That's on me if I do it. No outages.
Welcome in, Bamit, with Arthur Butler.
Hey,
and
welcome in.
Country Hustle 101.
Hey, guys. Welcome in. Great to see you guys. Right? Got to get ready, prepare. That's right. It's just starting. Amen to that. Yep. No, Aid, but that's a really good idea, and I'd like to set up something like that too. And also, I would love to have my own well. The problem is the water is so close to the groundwater. It's just too close to the ground here, so we have a lot of runoff issues. So you still would need, even if you had a pump to get it out of a well here where I'm at, you would need some way to purify that water. You would have to have some way to purify it.
Did we say hi to Duncan yet?
Yes, I said hi to Duncan. You can too.
Okay.
Yes, when she
Well,
came in.
I'm losing it tonight.
It's okay. I generate all my power, primary generator, secondary backup. I have experienced no outages since 1997. Wow. Due to where my home is in the woods, I was without power for a couple of weeks at a time. Wow. Yeah. So, how did you get through that, Brutal Bob? What would you say to people experiencing that for the first time? Like, what would you say to get first? Maybe even after water, like get your water system set up. Country Hustle, did I say hi to you? I don't know if I did. Hi, Country Hustle, someone.
Oh my
Oops.
God.
What? Did the kitty do that?
Yeah, I bumped the table.
Oh, okay.
I
It's
need
good
a
to see you, badass. I haven't seen you in a little bit.
I need a shorter tripod for that camera.
Yeah, bad.
The bottom of it's rounded off, so it doesn't like to sit up.
That's a good thought. Yeah, I didn't think of that either. We didn't get the tankless water heater because of the way they had everything set up. We didn't want to pay the extra money to have it put in.
Hey,
Yeah.
J3GS Farm,
Hey, J3GS.
Mercury 3 Actual, welcome in.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for coming in, and thanks for
Mary
being
Miles.
over at Barry's too,
Yeah,
helping him out. He's working on his hours too. Let me
it's
see.
funny. I had 3008, and then they took it away, and now it's like 2,990.
Yeah, they love to do the cha-cha slide with our numbers.
Yeah.
I love that.
If B Farmer, welcome in.
Yeah, a resilient dad. We've never used the water out of our hot water heater. That's one thing you could do. They say some people say they use it out of the pool, but a lot of pools have so many chemicals. I
I've
would
used
maybe,
it out of the water heater before. You just got to remember that that's where all the sediment sits, is at the bottom where the drain valve is.
yeah.
And you just, but it, that first gallon or so is what you want to like maybe use to dump in your toilet.
I just saw this comment. I'm sorry.
People should
Yeah, that's what I
probably
was gonna
use
say. I
it.
would probably use it potable water, like
Yeah.
for the toilet. If it
You
was
could wash in it.
for
You could
pool
bathe in it.
water
But
and wash in it,
I
bathe in
wouldn't
it.
drink it. I
Yeah,
mean,
no, I wouldn't drink it
unless you
either.
had a way to purify it, I would. But
Yeah, that's awesome. That is
you're
awesome.
looking
Man,
at
it has
20
so
to 50 gallons of water right there, depending on the size of your water heater.
right. I think ours is a smaller one. I was surprised they put in a smaller one for our
Mm.
house size. Hey, RD, what's up?
Hello, hello. How's it
Hello,
going,
hello.
everybody?
Hey,
Good.
Happy
How you
Saturday.
no,
Did they say why you guys lost power out there? What's going on?
No, not at all. So this was pretty random today. And that's
Wow.
why I wanted to I think you're hitting a timely topic.
Hey, CR.
With everything going on right now, power is, we can get clean water if we get power. We can figure things out, especially with communication that you get with power. Um, and for us, what we did was I had to take a G stroll through, all the businesses and stuff once we
Right.
lost power. Um, it was an untimely time. Little ARD was invited to a birthday party.
Oh no.
We were getting them all good together, and then everything went dark. Zero dark, and I was like, oh, okay. And luckily, we have backup generators and stuff, solar, of course. And it ran our Wi-Fi because our cellular signal started to go crazy.
Wow.
It didn't even work for a while, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Wait, what is really going on right now?" So,
Yeah, that
I went out.
sounds
I took a stroll to the gas station that's right up the street.
yeah.
They're part of our partnership and stuff. And I was like, wait, you guys don't have power. They had this handwritten sign, can't come in. The door didn't even open because it was one of those automatic open and close doors. So they had
Oh
to
yeah.
open and close it.
Yep.
So, and then the pumps were blocked off. Our target, I was like, did you guys already predict this? Because they had everything sealed off for all the produce and everything to keep the
What?
coolness in it, right? And one
Wow.
thing that I loved
Weird.
about this Target was honestly, uh, the lights were off in the store at Target, right? But the cashier systems worked, right? So you were shopping with your iPhone light or your Samsung light. You were shopping with that in the store and you would cash out. Literally, that just happened today.
Yeah,
And we
right.
didn't go through anything crazy. I'm in California. I'm in the Bay
Mhm.
Area,
That
NorCal.
actually, you just brought up something
Yeah.
really important. Keep cash on hand because when we
Oh
went through
yeah.
Hurricane
Oh yeah.
Wilma, everything went down, and Publix was on emergency lights, and everything was tallied the old-fashioned way,
Yep.
and
Yep.
you were paying cash.
Oh
You're
yeah. Oh yeah, and
so
I'm glad that they had backup power to do the calculating because I wanted to understand how many people really know how to count change.
right?
like,
Exactly. Right.
like if I
Yeah.
I
give you
think
a 20 and my
yeah,
goods were 18, let's say 18.25. Let's make it even.
I
How
think they
much
start
money do I get back? Do you know that?
right. I think they start to put limits on how much you can buy at that point too, because
Yeah,
exactly. They're not
yeah,
gonna get people out quick. Hey, Indy, welcome
yeah. I
in.
totally agree.
Right,
And
Chuck. I agree with this, what Tuck said. Yeah, try to flush your water heater annually if you do
oh
plan on
yeah,
using that water because you're getting
especially with the calcium buildup,
yeah,
right?
a lot
Yeah.
of crap.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you'll save those elements and they'll last a lot longer because that's one thing that kills the heating elements is that sediment and everything's
Right.
building.
Hey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I totally
go
agree.
ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I
Oh
forgot,
no, yeah.
guys, we are streaming between Storm Radios and Cats. That's Barry's channel right there and mine. And usually it's Diva in the Dirt and I, and tonight she is busy helping with I don't know how to say it gently. How do you say it gently, Barry? It's like they're trying to get term limits on Sparkle Socks up there. They're trying to shorten his term, and we'll see if
Uh,
they are able. Um,
I would
yeah,
say that is probably the news, so I would say it's okay to say
yeah,
that.
that's the close. Yeah, okay, it's in the news. So yeah. Hey, Gear, welcome in. But ARD, do you think any of it is because you're close to people that like countries that don't really like us right now, or a country on that side of the
I
US?
don't speculate,
Yeah,
and I don't. If I do, I don't do it publicly. To
exactly.
be honest,
Yeah.
one thing that it showed me was uh, power outages can happen anytime and at the wrong time. Right? When
Right,
is there a good time to have a power outage?
right.
And
Worst
the
time is when
interesting
you get a
thing,
huge meat, like,
come
load
on, we just
and you
came from
have no
Whole
plan.
Foods, right?
Right,
Like my wife just brought back all these bags. I was like, here goes the check. I was like, all right. And then
right,
next thing you know, whoop, everything cut off. And I was like, wait, let me just reset the breakers. Maybe it's one of those things.
right,
And I asked my wife, I was like, wait, did we pay the power bill this month? I know it's on auto pay. And she was
yeah,
like, dude, of course. I was like,
right,
Yeah.
I was like, so what's going on? Right. And then I went outside and I started seeing all of my neighbors come outside. And I was like, oh, okay. So
This
now
is
we're all out of power.
yeah, now you know. Yeah, this is an excellent tip, and for gardeners too, what Bamet, with Arthur Butler is saying is put your bucket inside your shower while your water is heating up, and you reclaim that water rather than it going down your drain.
That's a
And
good tip.
it
Yeah.
is a very good tip. Thank you for that one, Bamet with
Oh,
Arthur
yeah.
Butler.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That was
So
too
that
funny.
was the case for us. And I know, it's nothing to, like I said, it's nothing to complain about, compared to, real life situations and emergencies that we have, just in this past week.
Right.
But it gave me one of those sobering moments to really make sure that we keep our keep our solar generators already powered up at least 95 to 97%. Doesn't
Right.
have to be 100%, and everything else of that nature. So when our Wi-Fi went out because our cellular went out, right, what I did was connected one of my actually I can pub it. I'm not
That
affiliated, of
makes me
course,
nervous. They even
but
knocked out your cellular too?
so our cellular was wonky, literally. Like it did not. I tried to call my wife literally right next to me, and it didn't work. And I was like, "What is going on?" You know,
Practice.
and I
Oh,
was
I
like,
didn't say that.
"This is a little interesting right now." I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
But what I did was I have an Energizer, was it like 720-watt Energizer? I got off of Amazon, and I use that to power my Xfinity HomePod, right, for the
Oh, okay.
Wi-Fi. And what I realized was, I mean, I've been known this, but it just made it just made it solidified even more
Mm-hmm.
that, as long as as long as the satellites as well as the towers are still up and operating,
Mm-hmm.
even if you lose power, all you need if you really want to connect to Wi-Fi is to take out that plug, right, that you put into your wall for your Wi-Fi,
Mm-hmm.
your router, put it into a generator or a solar generator. Ours took only 20 watts, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I plugged it into a 720-watt energizer, right? Solar power bank.
Oh, okay.
And I've done this a couple of times
So
before
you
when I
have
had to.
you have two. Are they both solar power banks that you're using that you're talking
I
about,
have
or
more than two, but these are the ones. So I have a 700, I have a 300. These are the ones we use all the time, right?
okay?
I have a couple of those we use all the time. They float between all of the floors of my house, and that's what we use for that. But the
It's the
thing
same as
was,
my Opus, Carol.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the Opus 700,
I
the
have the
700
Opus
watt,
600.
600 watt. You'll still
Yeah,
get
I
it
ain't.
done. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's good stuff. Yeah.
It's called the 700 Energizer. What is it called? I'm just looking it up to see if I can pull it up
It
to
should
show
be
people.
720-watt Energizer, the
Okay.
solar power bank. Yeah.
Okay.
And I have the 302. Actually, I got it in the deal, right? They came together and I paid way too much, but it was so early with solar generators.
Right.
They were charging what, $1 a watt. Now it's like 50 cents or something like that, less than that a watt.
Okay.
So I bought it pretty early, right? But
So is that like
um,
the Blue Eddies and the
yeah,
Jackeries?
so
It's
I have
kind of
the
the
Blue
same
Yeti.
deal.
Yeah, I have the Blue
Okay.
Yetis. I have what is it, the APC 200P. I mean, I have a
Oh,
few, right?
you got a
Um,
lot. Wow.
it's not a lot. I just like them because I gave a couple away, right? And then also um to like family members and stuff like that was going through some real good times, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Right.
for us, what I wanted to ensure was we can at least connect to communication,
Mm-hmm.
first, right? Communication can bring you resources. It can bring you
Okay.
help.
I want to interrupt you just for a second. I don't
No
want to,
worries.
but I want to. Are these stackable power units? Because I'm looking at, they're showing Energizer has some that you can just keep connecting to each other.
Oh, these aren't stackable. No,
Okay.
these aren't
Okay.
stackable.
These are the
No,
earlier ones. Okay.
these are get it and go if you want to, right?
Okay.
These not. I mean, I can probably daisy chain in some capacity, but
Right.
I just like it for what it is, right? I don't
Right.
really want to soup it up or anything like that. I
Okay.
like it
I
because
was trying to
I know
find
what I
it,
can get
but
from it,
yeah.
and
Energizer Solar has their own website, guys. If you want to go check it out, I'm like, want to come back over to ARD and not interrupt them anymore.
oh
But they
yeah,
have
no
their
worries,
own.
no worries. I
You can
didn't know
go
that they
check it
had
out.
a solar part of the website.
Yes, I just found it. Here, I'll
Nice.
show it. I'll show it.
Yeah, because I only bought through Amazon, so I didn't
Yeah,
know.
it's probably cheaper on Amazon. They always give a little bit of a discount on Amazon. It's
Yeah,
just
I
like,
got mine for a pretty heavy discount too, and I got the 300 watt and the 700 watts. So together, of course, that's 1,000 watts. But what we learned was because I wasn't trying to use the big boys like the Opus and stuff like that. We're getting ready for little ARD's invitation to a birthday party, and we're trying to iron clothes and stuff.
oh
And the
wow,
iron took a little over a
everything went
thousand watts.
right. Just pushed you over. Oh
So
my.
everything crapped out, right? Everything just went angst. And I
This
was like,
is
okay.
nice. This is the website I'm putting up, ARD, and it even shows you like what maybe you could
Oh,
use
so
a
they have a
different
home
part.
solution.
They have a home.
Wow.
Well, then they had the ones that I said is your stackable because they have portable power right here, anytime, anywhere. Learn more. But the picture, look,
Wow. So they're in the game now. Okay.
yeah, they're
They're
in the
trying to
game.
keep up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Back up when you need it. Harness the power. There's the solar. So if you guys want to check that out, you can.
Nice.
Everybody like always has their favorite name brands, but
I
it's
have
good
nothing
to.
to say bad about Energizer.
Mhm.
I just
Sorry, guys.
realized, the products that I had. Let's just say there's one thing in particular that I said is a no, and I'll just call it out for the older brands of Energizer. I don't know if they fixed it or not, but the older brands of Energizer solar banks, they didn't have pass-through charging, and then when they did have it on the 700 watt 720, it's finicky, right? It's finicky, and It works when it works, right? So pass through charging, you can charge it and use it at the same time. That's what it means.
Okay.
And it was finicky, right?
Mhm.
So I have nothing bad to say, but to be honest, as a consumer, the older generations of them, it's a little flaky. To be honest, I think that they've corrected that, but
Okay.
that's my only thing if I would say anything on that. But it worked when I needed it, right? They were already
Yes.
charged up, so I didn't have to worry about it. You know.
Is that what you do? You keep them plugged in, or do you keep like one rotating out with the solar? Like
Oh
how?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I keep them. Either plugged in the AC, or I have a 60-watt flexible panel that I normally keep all of my smaller solar panels, solar chargers and banks
Hmm.
with.
Okay.
And then of course I got some bigger like solar panels and stuff like that for the big
Okay.
boys. But the other part is the Energizer 700 and 300. They can only accept what 60 watts of solar. So what that means is even if you have a 100-watt or a 200-watt or 240-watt panel, you can only get in 60 watts.
Mhm.
So 60 watts is 300 watt to recharge fully, right? What is that? Um,
This
270.
is
Right?
like when Diva says, you're like the peanuts teacher to me with all the watts and stuff. Barry can follow you. I'm like, wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
I need something that, like, I need a person to come with, like, if I ever get the Jackery, which we've looked at and I've asked, I'm going to talk to my brother about. He's actually out in Cali. He's near wine country, and
Yeah, Napa.
they have some other places too that they invested in. That I guess there's a theater that actors come out there during the summertime and do summer stock, and they
Ah,
rent properties to them around that area. Um,
wait,
so my
it's
brother
not
would
the
kind of,
amphitheater or
I
theater,
don't
the
know.
outdoor theater,
It
theater
is
out
the
there.
outdoor theater.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So, yeah, I'm gonna ask him about it. Plus, he is a master. I don't know if they ever lose it, but he's a master electrician out there, and he was a
nice.
general contractor. So I'm gonna ask him what we can get because I have no clue. I really
Yeah.
don't. Like I was saying earlier, I don't know if you caught me saying it. Ours is so old school. Our generator is like the gas generators that are huge. You can
Huh.
still wheel them, but they're huge.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I was going to say, Bob, yeah, that's a great idea, except for you remember, I'm in an HOA. So I don't know. And I have like
Oh
a
yeah.
postage size backyard. It's called a zero lot line. And unfortunately, on our zero lot line, both sides, I have two stories and we're a one story. So they can look right in my backyard and see whatever I'm doing.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of freaky tiki. I mean, I can
Yeah.
always put some chaya on either side, and that'll give me a little bit more privacy, and that grows pretty fast. But that's the one plant that did kind of snap during this last hurricane. It snapped a bit. But yeah, those are a great idea. Otherwise, Brittle Bob, those IBC food grade, they're great for that. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I've
I
seen
agree.
people that build things that they can even stack them somehow. Like I don't know what kind
Oh
of
yeah.
garage you have, but it's like got to be at least a two-story to stack those and move them around. And then,
Duval, City Girl Gardener.
oh, it's
Welcome
Duval
in.
in here. Hey, Duval.
Yeah. And
And
I didn't
welcome
want to
in,
hold you
Gears.
too much. I just wanted to just add
No,
that. I
this is
thought it was a
great
timely
because you just
topic.
had it happen as
Oh
we
yeah,
put it
in
up.
real life,
And you
and
weren't in any storms. It just cut
no,
out.
not at all. I mean, we
And
just got the coolest weather, 80 degrees today compared to the 110 we've been experiencing. And during the 110 is when we had the blackouts and power outages. Now it's like 80 degrees. I'm like, what's the problem now? You
Hey,
know?
exactly.
Tibor.
It does make you wonder what exactly is going on. And especially like you said, how Tarjay had everything kind of covered and
Yeah, it
really
was like
weird.
too prepared that fast,
Yeah.
right? It was
Were
too
you seeing
prepared.
any
Yeah.
like emergency medical vehicles driving around, like, or
So
anything?
we did have our fire department deployed, and I think that's because of the power outage alone. And I think somebody
Right.
had some health conditions relying on power,
Right.
and but there
Right.
was no notice, right? So I
Wow.
use one of my internet
That's
providers
a great
is
idea,
Xfinity,
Andy. Uh-huh.
right? It's
Right.
Xfinity, and Our power supplier is PG&E, right? And PG&E didn't give us an update on what was going on. However, Xfinity gave me an update on your internet will be resolved by 2 p.m. today. I was like, how do you guys know this? But the power company didn't tell me. Like, they
That's
didn't tell
weird.
me until afterwards, right?
That's
And I was like, man,
so
I'm not a
weird.
conspiracy like there's type of guy, but this is
Right.
black and white. I was like, how do
Right.
you know? And they don't know.
Exactly. And why wouldn't they? What I wouldn't. Well, no, they don't always tell us everything. That's just it. They might be doing it as a interior.
How
Like,
does the internet provider know about when your service for
yeah.
internet will be reconnected, but your
If
power provider is
that's
not giving
true.
you any information?
Yeah.
because they're
That was
getting their
crazy to me.
But then
they're getting the
Xfinity
power to
lies
run
though too.
their
Oh
Xfinity
yeah,
lies. They
Xfinity
lie.
definitely,
Sorry,
definitely.
Barry. But I just
No,
thought
yeah,
they
that
but see their
definitely do.
customers,
You
they're
know.
customers of the same power company. So the utility companies are going to work together, to keep things running the best they can. So they probably communicate to each other. That's what they do
Oh,
here. So
that is quite the observation. You probably right with that. The connectivity. Yeah,
they,
oh
yeah.
my, Cuckoo Farmer, I am so wow, I'm so sorry that happened to you. That happened to us with our fridge. It just completely went out, and that's how we knew because the freezer
Mm.
started to defrost. Like it was going out and a bit at a time. Like it would just shut itself down here and there before it finally
Kentucky
just
Goblin just bought a new one today. His
and they're
finally died.
crap. A lot of them are crap. A lot of them are now all made in Mexico and made to die within like 5 years. It
Yeah,
is what even the people who came to fix ours and was talking about where you're going to need a new compressor and a new this. And I was like all the guts in my fridge. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's a 5-year-old fridge. And I'm like, and how much? And he's like, it's going to be about $700. And I'm like,
Jesus.
I think I'll get a fridge. I don't think I'm going to pay you 700. I know my husband's not going to want to pay you $700 for that. But yeah, that's awful when you have like meat in the fridge and it's thawed
Yeah.
out. We got actually our first hurricane when we lost power. My daughter and I got sick, and I still don't know to this day if it was the food or just our nerves because
Mm.
it wasn't just our county that lost power. It was 3 counties combined. And my mother and my mother and my father were still alive, and they had my brother who, just like you said, he was on oxygen. He was on a
Hmm.
compressor. So he
Yeah.
needed power. And they were out, they even got written up in the paper in Boca out looking for gas at different gas
Wow.
stations to keep him alive. So we had all that going on, and I think it was she just caught my case of nerves. Like my nerves are just like, what the hell is this?
Hmm.
We were a
Yeah.
young married couple, and we didn't know about preparedness back then.
No.
My dad was old school, and he was prepared, but he didn't teach us because he was a very quiet man. You had to follow my dad around to learn stuff. That's how I learned how to be handy was I followed him around and became his assistant.
Mm.
Otherwise,
Uh,
he wouldn't have really passed it on
yeah.
because he was so quiet. But anyway, this, yeah, that I hate that. Just like what Art is saying, ARD is saying, it can happen at any time. It can
Yeah.
be a mistake like that. Um,
And
I
one of the things,
go ahead.
may I add to that, because you're totally right. And my dad was kind of similar, right? With he didn't keep things close to his chest, but he didn't want to share, not necessarily share. He didn't want to teach if he didn't know that you were hungry for it, right?
Right, right.
And one of the things that really turned me into just from a resilient man to a resilient dad was little ARD. Little ARD was being breastfed, and we had a brownout, and all the milk that we had in our reserve was in the refrigerator, right? And they
Oh,
had nothing on like an estimate to when the power would be
oh my
back, like
gosh.
back and
Yep,
everything. I didn't have a Booze RV fridge. I didn't
right.
have even like ice, you know. And I
Right.
was like, wait, we just have all of this milk for little ARD that would be spoiled in a
It's
couple of hours.
terrifying.
And you
Yep.
can't produce more milk when you're breastfeeding, right? Unless
Right.
like
Yeah, yeah,
it's a
yeah.
real thing. And from there, I was like, you know what? It's time to really like dig deep on this. You know, it's not to go AWOL, but let's make
Right.
smart decisions. You know,
Right. Well,
and
let's
that's when I really became a resilient dad. And my wife even was like on board. She was like, "Now I understand what you do for a living." And I was like, "Yeah, this is
right.
it." And it
Yeah.
reminded me, it's like, why do all this for
Everyone.
corporate or private entities and public entities? And I'm not even doing that for my family right now.
But
Me
that's
being a
very
first time dad,
common.
right?
I was actually just watching that. We were watching one of those shows where they do like they redo cars, they redo motorcycles and give them new paint jobs, make them look just amazing. And the guy who does all their paint jobs, like amazing stuff. He had like a super old crappy van that looked like he had spray painted it with a spray paint can on the side and was driving around in that for years to go and pick up these motorcycles. So they like that's very common. It's the person like the handyman who doesn't have things fixed in his own hand in his own house. It's so common. I don't know why.
Isn't that crazy?
It
Yeah.
is crazy, but
Yeah.
it's a common way that we deal with things. It's the same thing with like parents will do usually all the rooms in the house before they do their own bedroom.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, engineers usually have a room of things that they want to do for themselves. Like they'll have like old radio equipment that they would really love to restore,
Hmm.
but they spend so much time keeping radio station, TV stations on the air, they never have time for their own stuff.
Right.
Isn't that crazy? It's like
Right.
asinine to me. When I had to take a step back and realize like, okay, I'm benefiting everybody else, but my home isn't taken care of. I don't have my house in order. I had to
Hey,
realize that,
Michelle.
you know.
Hey, Michelle.
And that's when you get to repurpose your time a little bit, right? And
Right.
start getting those things checked off the list.
Wow. Yeah. See, and it only takes 3 days and you're completely wiped out of if you don't have a gas generator. Like all that stuff is really hard to keep on ice unless you are constantly going out and finding it. And then they
Oh,
might not have ice. Um,
and one thing too, I want to add, and I got this from Lead Farmer. Have one of those 12-volt ice makers that might make maybe a liter or
yes.
2 liters of ice.
Okay.
Honestly, like that's one of the things that kept us as well. And
It's a
I, I,
great
I
idea.
keep I keep it. It's 12-volt. You can put it in the cigarette lighter of your car,
Right.
right? Or
Right.
you can put it in a 300-watt, solar generator that might cost you $200, right? And
Right.
you will have stuff to keep things cold, especially with medicine. It's not going to save the world, but it'll keep you
Right.
hanging in there.
Hello,
Yeah. No,
Shawnee.
it's a great idea. Hey, Shawnee, I
Hey,
sent you the
Andrew.
link, honey, whenever you're ready. Good to see you,
And
T-Boy.
on that note, thank you so much for allowing
No,
me up here.
thank you for
I
coming
look
up.
forward to supporting you guys even more.
Thanks.
Uh,
Thank you, ARD. I appreciate it. I've
God bless
already
you all. Have a great
you,
Saturday.
you too.
Yeah, you
Thank you.
too.
I'm
Have a
glad
good
you got
night.
your power back on.
Oh, yeah, we're cooking with grease now.
All
Yeah.
right.
Have a good one.
Have a good
Yeah.
one too. If you guys aren't hooked in with ARD, please check out his channel. And if you'd like to subscribe, please do so. I don't know if I can even say that word with now the AI.
All
If
right,
you'd like to be
Michelle.
friends with him,
Yeah.
all the different things. Okay, you guys are just talking about your car love back and forth. So as long as you can see each other, I'm going to keep clicking on because I am behind. Wintertime does
Michelle,
move.
thanks for stopping in. You have a great night and a better day tomorrow, friend.
Oh yeah, thank you, Michelle. I'm not even down to you yet, honey. I'm so sorry, but thank you. Um, Shop's always out of milk and bread. Oh wow, yeah, we get that. We get that here, but it's usually right before a big hurricane. And that was one thing I was saying last night. Of I took a picture of what was left in Walmart, which it was doing pretty well. Even Barry saw the picture and he thought, they're doing pretty well to keep up because it was the day before the storm. They had drinking water on hand, pretty stocked shelves. The only thing, of course, weirdly, all the toilet paper and paper towels were gone. But they had paper plates, they had plasticware. It was just very bizarre. The only thing I could think of is that scare with the port workers kind of set it off. rolling.
Mhm.
And then also Helene. They might have been sending stuff up to Helene. Otherwise, our Walmart was pretty stocked, and it was just nothing but negativity when I put it on next door. It was all about people hoarding, and I'm like, really? Nobody was hoarding. I saw not one person hoarding. They were just going in, getting water, and leaving. They weren't getting like stacks and stacks of water and pushing people out of the way or any of that craziness.
Yeah.
Wow, 100 tomorrow. Yeah, Texas, you guys get so hot. Like,
75 here today.
yeah, we get the 80s, but man, 100 still?
Mm.
That's pretty wicked.
So when you're carrying boxes down a steep hill, it gets hot quick.
Right. Yeah, and badass, I'm glad that Daytona didn't take a hit because there was so many on the coast that uh they got whipped around. Even on our side, the tornado that hit I think it was Fort Pierce. Yeah, it was Fort Pierce. It was just so sad. Really, really sad because they definitely were not expecting to get hit with what they got hit with, and it wasn't um, a neighborhood where people had a lot of money. Like you could see, like some of these neighborhoods that they keep showing that it's like all the water just took out their, all their furniture on that floor. Um, they still have, they'll have to have pretty good insurance. The only way you're not carrying insurance is if you don't have a mortgage on that property. In Florida, that is one of the problems that's so hard to live here is because of our insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the
Well,
other thing too. Why are people buying milk right before you're losing power? I mean, if you have a baby, I get it. Get the shelf stable. Got the shelf stable. It doesn't make sense for you to go and grab all the stuff that's in the refrigerated section unless you do have generators all set up and ready to go. Lots of fun.
well,
Yes, yes, Mary. They deal with that in Cali. Sorry, Barry, go ahead.
I'm going to let a cat in. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me too. A little reset or a little test. Um, Also, he is on that side where the big R country is, and they have been doing some little tinkering with signals and such. Those chest freezers stay colder longer than the. Oh, that's good to know. We have the upright. It was for size. ALGG, love. Hi, hon. And hi to anybody who I might have missed while we had all the conversation going on. It was a great conversation. I had no idea. If ARD didn't come up, I had no idea that California was dealing with that today. Don't need one. Wow. Very cool. That's awesome, Bob. My brother used to love to go to the races. He had a motorcycle that finally, after the second accident, uh no, I think it was the third. It was the third. My uh now sister-in-law just kind of asked, please, please let not anymore. Like not, and he agreed. He was just like, yeah, that I think the universe is trying to tell me something. Yes, the blizzards in the other states. See, we have the hurricanes that cause the panic, and you guys have the blizzards. That's why we all have to help each other. Oh, good for you. So you could go and put them in coolers practically and put it outside. See, now there's people too who are in the woods and they can't necessarily do that, even if it's the winter, because they have bears and the bears will come. Oh, no, the bears are usually hibernating. Never mind. I just misspoke. But still, you do have wildlife that we wouldn't think of here. They're looking for a free meal. We all have the trash pandas. I mean, the raccoons. I would have never bought an upright freezer again. The reason wife and I bought it was because that's the only one that would fit in my wife's house. Yeah, that was for us too. It just fit in the spot that we could spare. We have an upright, and I think this one is, you can use it as a fridge or a freezer that we have. But I didn't even know that the non-uprights hold the cool better. I mean the chest freezers. And the chest is colder. See, our upright is pretty darn cold. I'm always like having to de-ice it, like chisel. The dum-dum multitasking again? What's the dum-dum multitasking? You don't think the meat went bad in that time? Good. I'm glad. Let me see. Let me get down. Your dad was the total opposite. Well, that's good though that he wanted you to learn. I mean, that he wanted to make sure. I think though with boys it's different. Like my dad was different with the boys. I was the girl, I was the baby. Um I don't think he ever expected me to really take an interest in what he does, like in being handy and learning how to do all the little things that he could do. My dad was always tinkering in the garage, fixing something, small engines. Long time ago when we had tubes in the TV, he would be fixing TVs. That was one of his first jobs when he was young. Upright given to me, and it's what fits in our house. So we use it. Yep. That's how I learned how to cook at South Florida Sunshine. The old school parents were one of a kind. Yeah, they definitely were. Definitely were. But I would say, like back to what you were saying, Tibor, my older brother, when he created trouble, he was of that generation where my dad could still send him back to the farm with my grandparents. By the time I was maybe 4 or 5, I think we had lost. No, but let me take that back. By the time we were here in Florida, so I was about 8, we had lost my grandparents, 8 and 9. They were like went right after the other. My grandmother had a heart attack, and soon after, I believe my grandfather had a stroke. It was, they were married all their life practically. Yeah, more proactiveness does matter. Yeah, exactly. And I think just like ARD was saying, it's like once you have a child who's depending on you, it hits home more. Like when she was there with us and I was realizing like I have no clue about what I'm doing to get through this. And yeah, it just made me sick to my stomach. Like, how do I get my little girl through this if I don't know what we're doing? Yes, you did, Duncan. Duncan, you want to come up too if you want to, because you have grown up this way.
Sis, be glad you have a dog.
What are they doing now?
Oh, scratch at the door, do that pitiful little meow. You let me in, and I go to the door, and they're like, "No, I don't want to. You took too long."
Mm. Oh, I've never heard of this. Do you have a thing in the US, priority customers list? If you're disabled or vulnerable and water electric goes off, they must provide bottled water. I don't know, and prioritize getting you sorted. They have their own if they are on disability or if they are on like Medicaid. Sometimes they do make things more available.
Yes, they
Um,
do. Actually, I think you were probably going there. I'm sorry, I didn't
oh
mean
no,
to
no, go ahead because
interrupt
you
you.
have experience with this. Go ahead.
If you fall on hard times and say you can't pay your water bill or you can't pay your heating bill, you can't. Let's say if you heat with wood of all things, because that's one thing they want to ban here.
That's true.
You
Yeah.
can get assistance, but I can't guarantee that every state in the union has that.
Hey,
But
Andrew.
yeah, there are programs here, especially if you're disabled, especially if you're
Mhm.
elderly.
Yeah. And also
Um,
below the poverty line
yeah,
too. They will
yeah,
help you out. It's those of us that are just above that line where you're really struggling, but you don't have that backup where it gets
yeah,
it's nerve wracking. So you have to
it
do
is.
that
And that's
pre-planning
why
and
I
you
never brag about getting assistance. I won't even bring it up. I just, say, yes, those
I know.
programs exist.
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause I
no.
see people who are, they for the most part, they pay their bills and everything, but they're still left with hardly,
Mhm. Sorry, I don't my hair is like in my
heartbreaking.
mouth or something. Just blew right in my mouth from somewhere. Yeah, you'll be getting that ice soon up there pretty soon, so you won't have to get an ice maker. Exactly, CR.
Netta's Nest. Welcome in.
Boy, I am very behind. I'm so sorry, guys. Nights and sleepy time. Oh, yeah, because you said behind bye to Michelle a while ago. So sorry,
Drop
guys.
us on
It's a
fire.
good. That means it's a good conversation. Oh, you do? Okay, let me drop it, honey. I'm so sorry. Just saw that. Copy and paste. There we go. And if anybody wants to come up and you haven't been on my panel before, you have to show your face to me because people out there fake, channels.
Once you show her face to you, you can turn your back to
Yeah.
your avatar if you feel more
Exactly. You
comfortable that way.
Exactly.
Tibor asked if anyone saw the comment. I tried, but no luck. But I filmed something. I don't know what the hell it was. I don't even know.
Yeah. It's
Um,
hard. You got to slow it down, the shutter speed and everything. And even then, when I was trying to do it, I wasn't getting
Well,
any red in the sky because we have so
right.
much. We
The
have
problem here
pollution.
is because we live in a valley and I don't have a clear view of the horizon without looking through trees. So I took the drone up to about, I think, 180 feet.
Here she is. Here comes Shawnee.
Yeah,
Shawnee
still.
Groves. Please welcome to the stage, Shawnee Groves.
Hey, hi, girl.
Hi.
Sorry, I didn't realize. I knew I was behind, but whoa.
Oh no,
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, here comes Duncan. Yay. Here's Miss Brenda, Miss Duncan 1900 Homestead.
Hey, Brenda.
Oh, wonderful.
Wow.
Chop and drop, Shawnee. That's
I
right.
feel
So-
lucky here. I'm surrounded by women.
Yeah, lucky.
Soak it up.
That's right. That's a good answer. Soak it up.
Soak it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay. I do that gear
After
if I
the
can.
after the dollar
After-
store market deal with the cashier.
Yeah, he had a little
Bye.
flirty time. Oh yeah, all the plants in for winter. Yeah, see, I've got all my orchids still in our shower from the hurricane, and they
Where's the
seem
baby?
to be so happy in there right now. I don't want to move them.
Oh, yes, it's going to be
Kidding.
down to 31 Tuesday night.
Oh
So,
no,
Ew.
already?
Yes.
18 degrees already with Andrew. You're in the Arctic Circle, though. You are in
It's
the Arctic.
supposed to be that up there, not here.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You got to block the wind so it doesn't blow down on Brenda and Shawnee. Just got to put up a big, something up there.
That
so
would
it
be
doesn't
nice.
Get down to the 50s tonight for you guys. Yeah. Food forest permaculture. Hey, Howie. Good to see you hopping around. I hope everything went well. Greetings to you too.
You already saw below freezing.
Wow, it's a
thank you.
nice turnout tonight. Hey,
38.
Kentucky Goblin.
38. Yuck. Hey, Kentucky Goblin. I'll get to you. I'm way up here somewhere. So, Shawnee, you were saying you had some ideas too. I don't know where you want it to start
There
or
you
to
go,
go off.
creative.
You guys were talking already about did you talk about how to stay cool? Or you were talking
No,
about California something?
that's a good one to go off of. Yeah, if you have that. Because
Um,
you did have that. I don't know if everybody
I
saw
know
what you got.
the fan.
Yeah.
I don't really, so we have lost power in the summer storms, but the only things I know about keeping things cool is we have a basement. So the north side of the basement is the coolest place in the house, where you guys have a completely different way of keeping cool. You don't have a basement in Florida.
No, it would be we'd be floating like a houseboat if we put a basement in
Yeah.
our house.
So I don't have huge experience with that. I have experience with winter storms, ice storms, blizzards, taking power lines out and having to stay warm. So that's what I can speak about.
Right.
The basics start with, okay, the power's out. We know that it's from the storm. We check the breaker. Maybe we see lines down. Maybe we had to call the utility company. We're going to put our socks on, our slippers on, a hat on, layers, your long johns, your leggings. You're going to get your stack of blankets out. So, for example, we have a wool blanket, which is a very thick. And you
Great.
can't just like wash and dry this regularly. It's dry clean only. Merino wool blend is what this is. And so it's
Mhm.
very heavy and it kind of smells funny. Like the wool smells different.
Right.
And
Well, always does have, yeah.
it's good for like when you go to bed.
Yeah.
And then you have your quilts, if you have a family member that makes you nice quilts, or maybe you're a part of a group that does quilting groups,
Mhm.
you got to get your stack of blankets out. We
Right.
we have vents in the house, like ductwork. And so it's a good idea to close those if they have the switch to close the gate on them,
Mhm.
because that's going to let cold air in your rooms.
Okay.
We
I have
close the
magnet
doors.
covers for my
Yes.
vents.
So are your vents what shape?
They're um rectangle.
Rectangle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can
Uh,
buy the roll though. My husband buys a whole roll of magnets to cut. You can cut
yeah.
your own
You could do that.
if you have weird shapes. So my husband has that for work where he has to cover up.
It's very common here to have magnetic pre-cut covers for your vents. That's very common. Yeah. Closing doors to rooms that we're not going to use, rolling up a towel so it's like a long tube and you stick
Okay.
it at the base of the
Mhm.
door, especially for the doors that go outside. That's where cold air is really going to come in. We actually hang a sheet in the entryway, so if the door does come open, the cold air that rushes the room isn't going to fill the room. It's going to hit that sheet and block it. You can do the same thing with
Mhm.
plastic sheeting, but I like the sheet that goes on your bed that's not fitted. You can take that down and wash it and hang it up very easily with 2 screws
Yeah,
and
the
a
Okay.
hair
flat sheet.
tie, you know.
You can even hang curtains in the doorway.
Yeah, or like have a
Or
rod with a curtain.
if you don't have doors like newer homes, well, a lot of your newer homes are open plan.
Correct.
Mhm. Yeah.
Now, like my house, it's old. It was built in 1900, so each individual room has doors to close every room off to itself. Hi, Mama J.
Now, what
So,
did you mean by this? Just to go back to this, the cardboard is a great insulator for freezers when the electric goes out. How do you
okay,
use the cardboard?
well, we had a oh gosh, there was 1 year where we had really bad storms like all year. It was like summer and winter. And our electric was out in the hottest part of summer. It was 110 degrees outside. And we had a bad storm that came through and put the electric out for over a week. And my freezer sat in the carport
My.
outside at 110 degrees, which the electric went out. The first thing
Right.
we done was went and collected all the cardboard we could find,
Okay.
and we insulated that freezer with cardboard, covered it, sides, top, everything with cardboard, and then we put quilts and rugs, whatever we could find to put over it. Now,
Okay.
moving blankets is a really good option too, which are cheap. You can buy those cheap at Harbor Freight, and they're very good insulators.
Oh no. Not
But my
sure.
electric, our electric was out for over a week, and when the electric finally came back on, and we opened that freezer, everything was still frozen solid as a rock in it.
Wow. Oh no, Netta, I'd like you to tell me why or SOL. But so you were saying too, like with the open floor plan, what are some options? Because yeah, a lot of people, my dad used to call it wasted space when he would see like now houses like I have our great room has the elevated, but we have that in Florida because it gets so hot here. You get the hot air to go up there and you stay cool below it. But what do you do when you have those old houses? Because your house has the higher ceilings, like
My
in
house has
1900.
9.5 foot ceilings
Yeah.
downstairs.
Wow.
So,
So what do
which
you
is
guys?
great in the summer because hot air
Yes.
rises, but it's
Right.
not so great in the winter. Um, Now, as long as the electric's on, I keep ceiling fans going, which helps to
Okay.
circulate the air. And being
Right.
as I heat with 3 wood stoves, it helps to bring that air back down off of the ceiling.
I think
But
that's
if
a
you're
great
out of
idea.
electric,
Yeah.
you're in trouble.
Right. That's what the I don't know how to say Coop Cuvy. How does Barry? How do you say their name? Cuvy? Cuvy Farmer? Cuvy Farmer?
Yeah, Cook v Farmer. Yeah.
Cookvy Farmer? Okay.
Yeah, like
Um,
cucumber, Cook v Farmer.
Cucumber. Okay. Cuvy Farmer.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a great idea to get both, to have both. I would love to have what Brenda has, the wood stove as a backup, just for cooking. I would like it though, maybe outside because it's Florida.
This is true.
I need like, but I like the
This
setup.
ain't
of wood
Florida.
stove.
This is Missouri, better
That's
known
right.
as misery.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that. Yeah, because I've heard a lot of people
That's nice.
from Missouri call it that.
Right.
Yeah.
Missouri.
Yeah.
Missouri, the misery state.
Yeah, I think you spell it CUCV farmer. You don't say it as a word together.
Yeah. So I don't know how. Do I just keep saying
So
CUCV Farmer?
CUCV. Is there a nickname?
Yeah. I need
Chuck,
a nickname.
Chuck just wrote it out.
I see.
So we're talking
Wow, I'm
about
behind.
covering that entryway. You also
Right.
have windows in your home. So
Mhm.
like we have plastic on our windows because we're in a rental and we can't just put new windows in. And then those blackout curtains, thermal curtains are thicker and honestly, when we know it's not going to get above 0 overnight and all day, we actually hang a quilt over this because you can just feel the cold seeping in. So just being
If
proactive about your leak spots.
if
Go
it's
ahead.
an older house, you're gonna have leaks.
Yes.
Right.
This house has new windows in it, and we still have leaks. There again, we had to, when we first moved here, whoever put these windows in did not caulk around them.
Oh no.
They were like a sieve leaking that winter. So that was one of the first things we done, was took all the windows out the following spring and caulked all of them. But in an older home, you always have air gaps. There's always leaks coming in from everywhere. I mean, there just is.
Something I'd
About
like to try. Oh, go ahead.
Kentucky.
Where'd I cut you off?
No, I just wanted to say hi
no,
to
you're fine.
Kentucky Goblin because I finally got to him. Go ahead, guys. Sorry. I'm so far behind. Bad.
So
ahead.
I have a 2000 watt. That's like the surge. 1024 watt, I think, is the running power solar generator power station coming. And when that comes, I want to test it with my oil radiator. And if I run it on low, it should just be 600 watts of power versus high, which is 1500 watts. The thing about the oil electric radiator is it'll stay warm and radiate heat after you get it up to that temp. So if we lose power, I'd like to try plugging in that heater to the radiator, or to the generator, radiator to the generator. But because I don't have any of that, what we've done in the past is we've used something called a Mr. Buddy heater. Oops, I bumped
Oh
it.
yeah.
So it's got these tanks right here. And I don't know what size this is, but it puts off heat, and you're supposed to kind of have some kind of window or something cracked, and you need to have carbon monoxide detectors on all levels of your home anyways. But definitely if you have something like this running, I can't run candles. Candles are a great way to make heat. I mean, you guys have seen the things
Right.
with clay pots and
Yeah.
candles. I have 3 children under the age of 6.
Yeah, I
They
can't
think
either.
it's a game. First of all, they're going to blow it
Exactly.
out,
But they blow it out.
and then I have to relight it. The other part is just my safety, our safety. This is our home. We're not outside. Like, I don't really want fire in the house, but they understand when this turns red, it's hot. It's hot like a stove. We don't touch it. They know not to mess with it, and we can have some comfort, you know? 'Cause, yeah,
Right.
I don't have a wood stove.
Yeah. And that one's not as easy. Like they can feel the heat coming off of it, but it doesn't necessarily get red like the heater, right? I've never had I mean, does it, Brenda? Like for a kid
Yeah,
to
they
see a
get
visual.
red.
Oh,
Gets
they do
red.
get
They get
red hot.
red.
But it has a safety where if it tips over, it's supposed to shut off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dynaglow is what mine's called. So I guess it's not the
Oh,
like Mr. Buddy
dang.
brand.
Oh, you did the clear plastic? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bob was doing that. Bob was getting the kind that I think you could just adhere to the window, but for other purposes. But yeah, For insulation, it's great too.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Well, it will
Absolutely.
help it will help block the wind from coming in around the windows and stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they sold that when we were up staying with my parents. The room that we were in is really an office, but you could use it as a bedroom also because it had a closet. However, it also had one of those windows that is perfect for like Christmas trees. I can't think of the name of the type of the window where it comes out.
Bay?
Oh, a bay window.
Bay
Yeah.
windows. Always loved them. They're gorgeous. Worst
They are
leaky
gorgeous,
thing in the
but
world.
they're
It was
mhm.
horrible at night. Same thing. We were right next to their door, and their door wasn't sealed correctly. They didn't
Yes,
have
Kentucky Goblin, the thick
sealing.
plastic is better.
I don't know why I left Wiener Dog up there. You're welcome, Kentucky Goblin. But it would freeze at night, and then during the day, that same bay window would make us sweat like crazy. It was the worst insulated room. So I almost, while we were there, got that plastic wrap that you can put on the window and then use a blow dryer, and it just
Uh-huh.
seals it. So that
Yeah.
is a great thing to have on hand if you're up north.
Mhm.
Possible to get below freezing or close
The more
to.
wind you can block out, the better. Now we get a lot of wind because we're on the prairie.
Yeah.
It's all flat land, and there's nothing to block the wind.
Right. Now, Andrew, you have that where you can put the food, it's natural freezer, but you guys have polar bears. Don't they get attracted to that smell? Oh, you've got it. There it is.
Okay, so
Right?
plastic sheeting 6
Mhm.
mil is what I keep on hand.
Okay.
It's what I have on my windows, and I keep one sheet pre-cut to the size. So if something blows, I just have it ready to tape. Now I
6 mils a good
honestly,
Thank you,
it's a
Tuck.
thick, it's
a
a
good
thick,
thickness.
yeah. Versus those like saran wrap blow dryer ones.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't like those.
Carter, I'm gonna have to check your
So
channel.
so we've established we need to get our bodies warm, we need to find our cold spots. We need to find a way to heat the
Right.
place. We're keeping everybody together. We've talked to the kids about our routine of the power's out. Here's what you can and cannot do. Now
Yeah.
we need to watch the temperature of the house. So we've got a basement with water pipes in it, and we've got water pipes under our
Mhm.
bathroom sink and our kitchen sink. So it's handy to have some kind of battery digital thermometer so you can monitor the temperature inside your home on the different levels. So like if we're seeing our basement's going to be 32 degrees or below, that's danger zone. You are going to have
Mhm.
problems with your water. Now, if we know, let's say we have power and we know in the forecast it's going to be below zero all night and all day. What we do is we trickle the water through the pipes.
Mhm.
So you'll turn the faucet on so it drips out a little and it keeps water flowing and it won't freeze. Let's
Yeah.
say we've lost power. We're
Mhm.
not going to leave the house. We're staying here. We're assuming power is going to be restored. We're watching those temps. It's not going to get below 32. We don't have to shut the main water off and drain the line. The reason I in my house, in my state, in my situation, we would do that is if we see that there is a frozen pipe somewhere. Usually you can just look at it and know, or if you are seeing a leak, that's when you're going to have to shut everything off, drain the lines.
Mhm.
You're going to have to call for help or fix it yourself. We
Yeah.
don't just automatically do that because we do have insulated interior wrapped pipes. Now,
Mhm.
a lot of the people that have problems with pipes breaking are not the northern people. It's the people that have houses built with exposed pipes in warmer
Mhm.
states, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
in
happens
warmer
here in
states where
Ocala.
they just
Yep. Ocala, it
they
They're
happens.
just
not
get
built that
zapped
way.
by.
They're not built that way.
Yeah.
It's happened from Central Florida up to northern
Mhm.
Florida where they've gotten frozen pipes because they weren't expecting it. Like you said.
Yes.
Mhm.
So it's like what we can do is we open the cabinet doors so the pipes are exposed to whatever warmth the house is creating. That
That's a
can
good tip.
help. You can wrap towels around pipes. There is
Mhm.
special like heat tape.
What
Um,
about for outside, like you just said, for Southerners? Could we use like pool noodles? Would that work?
I do
Like
not
split
have any experience or research, but I could look that up on what is the
I
actual, is it a blanket? Is it towel? Is it foam? Is
it's
it,
foam, I believe. You
I
float on
can
it. The
it's
pool
chime in on
noodles
foam.
that.
are like it's
What's
got a
the
whole
best insulator
yeah.
is what I would have to research,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you seen that?
No,
I can chime in on that.
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I have CPVC pipe which because it's cheap and it's quick to fix. However, I have tried it with heat tapes. I've tried it with heat tapes and the pool noodles, where they actually Frost King makes their version of the pool noodle that insulates them. The problem is when you
Oh.
come up to a junction or elbow,
Yeah.
you
Well, you
have to
duct
find
tape
a way to.
duct tape it. It does bend. Pool noodles
Yeah.
bend pretty
The
easy.
point, yeah.
Grumpus said he's used them at work and they work great. So
Yeah, usually, but like my problem here, and Goblin can attest to this, the wind cuts through the woods up here and it chills it even more. So when that comes down the hill, it's just like, it feels like where Andrew lives.
Oops, sorry.
that's a great idea to buy them at the end of season. Yeah, Dollar Tree, they usually have them almost year round here because we don't
Yeah.
in South Florida. But people in Central probably have seasons and it gets, taken off the floor. I'll be
Yeah.
right back because after now I know what.
You can, however, order them by the case from
That's right.
Dollar
Tree.
Tree.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can order dollar items by the case from Dollar Tree stores if you guys don't know that. But what CUCV Farmer said, I have a picture I want to go get. It's in my wallet though. I'll
I'm
be
going to
right
talk
back.
about water.
Okay. Yes. Hit the water again. That's
So,
always.
because I live in town, was not raised in town, so it was a hard shock when the power went out in town. It's completely different than when you have no power in the country. The water still works magically in town to a point. Now, let's say there's some kind of malfunction with backing up. That's a whole nother conversation. Let's say the water treatment plant actually lost power, generators are failed, things aren't working. I can't just expect that the water's gonna come through. So it's too far away. Hold on. So let's say I'm getting storm ready and I know it's coming. We fill something up. This does have a thing at the bottom here.
Yeah.
That's like, I know it's coming, right? Let's say we have no clue why the power went out. I have to reach a little farther to grab this one. Hold on.
She needs longer arms.
Probably longer legs and arms. Rocket
We keep
stove in the
these
hoop
on
house.
hand. And we just keep them filled in the closet, and there's a treatment you put in them, and you can have this kind of nozzle on it or just a cap. So we have our backup water, and then we have cases of bottled water. But yeah, go ahead and read that if you want.
I keep those in the barn because I don't have water lines to the barn. So we fill those up and put them in the barn so that way we have water right there for the animals.
Right. KP Heathen. Hello.
Hello, KP.
Oh
Sorry,
my God, the cat wants in. I wonder if it really wants in this time.
Oh my goodness. Like having a child. What do you want? Help me.
You'll find out when you get to the door and it says, "Oh, just kidding."
Oh yeah, it's only 20 feet. No big deal.
They might, Tuck. You're right. They might. Ranch from Louisiana. Hope you all are well there, KP. Stove in the hoop house. Yeah. Heating. Bring them to bed. Cob oven attached to the cob bed. Bench stays warm. Sleeping beside dogs or hoofed critters will warm. Yep. And sometimes I've seen where they actually they build their home above the barn in certain places where that heat will rise from the animals and help heat the house too. Back in the day, like they would do that.
Yeah. I know a couple of different people that have their homes are actually built like into one corner of the barn. Kind of weird. You go out, you can go out the front door and go out in the yard, or you can go out the back door, which actually goes out into the barn.
Yeah. That's wild. I haven't seen that set up.
People build a solar wall. There's some kind of way where you have like a south-facing wall built and angled, and it absorbs the heat during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how to do that too.
I would love that.
Cool?
Yeah.
It's so cool.
I
I know how to do
desperately
that.
want a greenhouse on the south side of my house. I have a concrete
love that.
slab there already.
Okay.
However, the slab needs to be extended on out to the end of the house. But it's the south side of the house. So the sun hits that side all day long.
You know
Right.
And
what
I
else
want
I
a
like
greenhouse on there.
about this greenhouse? You know what would be this is I saw this on somebody else's video. This isn't my idea. They lost power, they couldn't do laundry. They hung lines in their greenhouse and dried the
Mhm.
laundry in the greenhouse because then it's
Right.
protected. You don't have to
Mhm.
run in and out. Oh my God, you know,
Mhm.
whatever's coming. And it was
Yeah.
warm in there. I thought, I love that idea.
It's a great idea. Here it would be a steam house because,
A
again,
steam house, yeah.
South Florida. I'm
I
in
would like
Haiti.
a sauna
Yeah.
too, a
Yeah.
wood-fired sauna. Let's park one of those in my backyard.
Oh,
Mhm. Yeah,
yes.
like they do in the Nordic countries. They love their
Yeah,
saunas.
right.
Yep. I'm trying to
Another way to stay warm is to cook something and eat something warm. So I have a couple options I can show, hopefully, over here. They're kind of heavy to cook on. Because I just usually if it's bad out, I don't want to stand outside to
Right.
use the grill outside, and I don't want to light a fire. Now we do keep our fire pit cleared, and we keep wood stacked in a location where it is not getting wet,
Mhm.
but I don't have all day. So I'm gonna try and get them over here, and then I'll show.
There's cons. I'm gonna make myself big for just real quick. I'm gonna show when he said about the army, about hold on, the CUCV farmer. Do do do.
Good night, Howie.
Good night, Howie. Oh, geez, that wasn't what I meant to do. Hold on, I'm having trouble
Uh,
getting 3 dots. So yeah,
Real quick, another way to stay warm.
there. See, there's my
Oh,
dad in World War II. There's his Jeep that he drove in World War II. That was the company he was a part of.
oh,
Why
He
that's so
drove those
bad.
trucks. He drove those trucks that you're talking about, all the big trucks, and helped fix them too.
oh,
Whee!
okay.
Okay, let me get us
That's
back.
I
awesome.
want to know Willie so bad.
Yeah, he drove some of the first ones.
There's a guy
That
in
would be
Danville that's
nice.
got one. I'm so jealous of him.
How do I? Oh, there it is. I don't want to remove myself. I almost did. Oops. Go ahead, Brent. I'm
That
sorry.
would be bad. Oh, you're fine. I was just going to say another thing with staying warm.
hmm He's always
Okay. And I learned this one deer hunting.
Mhm.
Okay. We use the hand warmers, but and foot warmers, but instead of using them on our hands or feet, which I use them on my hands anyway, because, well, my hands lose circulation if they get cold. But if you keep your kidneys warm, it will keep your blood, they will keep your blood warm because the blood goes
Ah,
through them. They're a filter. So the blood is
perfect.
constantly going through your kidneys. So if you keep your kidneys warm, your kidneys will keep the rest of your body warm.
Mhm.
Those are a really lovely tool, the hand warmers. So let's say we're
Mhm.
in our sleep part of the power outage. You have your bed and your sleeping bag, and
Mhm.
then you also have your comforter and your wool blanket. Putting that hand warmer in your sleeping bag with you, wherever it feels
Mhm.
normal, like maybe you don't want it on your feet, such a wonderful tool.
Mhm.
Cool.
Howie
Yes,
mentioned
don't
the
sleep on
water
the ground
bottle,
or floor.
filling
Oh,
up
that's
a
The
so
hot
floor is
water
the
cute.
bottle,
coldest place in your house.
you know, you
Look
got to
at
do
that
that.
water
Mhm.
bottle.
I
It's
like
got a
the,
sweater.
I love the
Yeah,
water bottle with the sweater. It's
isn't it cute?
adorable.
Yeah, you put it, what
Yeah.
did
Turtleneck.
it say, in your bed, right, at your feet, and it'll keep you warm.
Thank you,
I have that
sweetheart.
to try that.
Thank you, Indy. It means so much. Barry, yes, Barry wants a Willie. Thank you for that, Kentucky. Thank you. Yes, you want. Knew you had to say it. I just, yep.
Oh, you know those camping, this is what this is, the camping grill?
Oh, yeah, I like
Really
yours.
old. So it uses this
Yes.
same thing that my heater uses, and I'm gonna try not to make a bunch of noise. When you open it, there's 3 sections. Ugh. So there's
Oh,
this
cool.
skillet piece comes out, and then there's
Yeah.
just a grill grate that also comes out, and then it's your stove top. So
I have
you
never
can put
seen
a
that
pan on
one.
it, and then
Yeah.
that closes, and you can keep the heat in it. So that's what my husband uses. I'll
Okay.
show you what I use.
Okay. Yeah, that's a cool one. We only have like the Colemans that are just like a mini grill that I've seen. I haven't seen one like that. That's kind of cool. And in fact, I had gotten a Coleman one year when we had a hurricane coming in. He got another because at the time, again, like our grill was on its way out, so we needed a new grill. I don't know why that happens. It seems like every maybe 5 years for hurricane season, we've got to get a new grill, but it just does. And he went and got another grill and he took mine back while I was away. I was like, no, I want that one too. Just a backup.
Oh,
Yeah. You have two Coleman stoves? That's awesome.
Um,
Can you find it?
trying to think of what I was gonna say.
Thank you.
Oh, I have an electric stove top, electric oven, so I can't
Mhm.
use it. I can't light it when the power's out. So I have a cooktop
Nice.
that hooks
Yeah.
to propane tank,
Oh,
Very
and
nice.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just set it. See how it has two
Yeah.
burners? I
Yeah.
just set it right on top of my stove, and I bring a propane tank in. Okay, guys, and I put it in my kitchen, and I connect it to this. And you're supposed to crack a window and crack a door, and you have a carbon monoxide detector on it, and then make sure it's not
Yes.
leaking. But then it's normal. I know
Mhm.
how to cook on that. I
Right.
can.
Yeah.
I can. So I'm gonna put it away, and then I'll say my next thing.
Yeah, that is heavy. It looks heavy. There are other countries that do that. I've seen it where they have that inside, but yes, please exercise caution. We in America don't usually bring in propane. You need to have like what Shawnee was saying.
Speak for yourself.
Well, I'm just saying, like, we have to have those measures, the safety measures Shawnee was having. I'm just
Well, that's why I bought the Big
putting a
Buddy
disclaimer out
because,
there for these 4 channels because I don't want somebody to
yeah,
not
I
do.
understand. But see, that's why I bought the Big Buddy because it has the O2 sensor on it.
Mhm.
I have my wood cook stove I cook on all winter long, so I don't have
Yeah.
to worry about a stove to cook on.
No, right.
Right.
But also, I'll be right back. Two dogs
Okay.
are wanting to go potty.
Okay.
Okay.
So once you've got your cooking system set up and you're figuring out what you're going to eat, you know what you need to do is you need to get a pot of water and you need to boil it. And then you need to put it in a thermos
Yes, I need a thermos.
because this thing will keep water warm and hot 12 hours just fine. And it's at the ready. You don't have to get your gas on, your cook stove on, wait for the water to boil. It's ready to go.
Yes.
So this is on my pre-storm checklist. When we still
Mhm.
have power, I boil water and I fill this up because then I can have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, or I
Right.
can add it to something to make a meal.
Right. Anything dehydrated.
Because
That's where I've
to
seen them
have
use
hot
it.
water to rinse
Right.
something, a dish, like it's just one of those things.
Oh, cool, KP Heathen. We'll be on the lookout for that. That sounds good. I haven't heard of that one, so I'd like to see it. Coleman stoves are the best. Yeah, they're really great, Andrew. And my parents had one for a really long time. It went to my nephews though because they were concerned about them once they sold the house. They wanted to make sure, if they couldn't get a place that they both had cars. They were given cars and they were given the Coleman cook stove as backup in case they hit hard times. Cast iron Dutch oven on the fireplace, hearth, beans, chili
It's
soup.
wonderful.
Nice.
This on fire.
Yeah, I don't know if I have that. No, I don't have the Dutch oven. I don't think anymore. I just have what I don't really need is the coal scoot. I think they called it the old coal scoot. Is that what it's called? It's that weird shape, and they used to bring the coal in.
Oh, the coal
and
chute.
store it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coal chute. Is it shoot or scoot? I don't know. But anyway, I have that from my dad's old farm days.
CHUTE.
Okay, shoot.
It's creative redundancy, the capacity on how much
Yes.
water to put in the thermos. Is that what you're asking me?
Oh, how big is it?
68 ounce.
It's a nice one. Yeah, I like.
And then I
something like that.
have a fat one too, like a short
Did you
and fat
get that at Cabela's? That
one.
one?
No,
No, just had it.
Amazon.
Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah. You know, when they have a sale, you hit up the sale.
You are
Are we talking about food at all? What food to cook?
No,
in
we
a
haven't hit
power
that. But
outage?
we haven't hit that.
It's
But
gonna
you're
make
more
me
than
hungry.
welcome.
I have a food box if we want to do show and tell.
Oh
food
yeah, go
box.
ahead, do your show and tell. Because if you've got the box there, It's a great idea. You can fry in the Dutch oven. Yeah, that's true. You can do a lot in a Dutch oven. You make bread in the Dutch oven. That's what they're making the sourdoughs now, Grumpus. Grumpus, you're welcome to come up. I'm not sure where oh shoot. I'm sorry. I'm a little flaky tonight. Please forgive me. I mean, more than usual because I'm thinking about having to get up early and drive my daughter 3 hours north. Oh, he has a Coleman. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think if I had a son who understood that, he would probably be getting all that stuff too. Yes, beans are good, but I regret that I made lots of chili right before the hurricane. Uh, not good if you're going to be, eating a lot of chili and then stuck in the house because there's a big snowstorm coming with people who might be gassy from that chili or a hurricane. So I'm going to say. That's, that's all
So I
I
have a box that's just the stuff, like
Oh, okay.
paper plates, paper towels, plastic utensils, gloves, lighter, candle, wipes. That's its own box because
Okay.
it's 5 people here. This is also good to leave quickly. I grabbed that box. Now I'm going
Okay.
to show this box quickly and then I'll open it. Ooh. So everything's in this box. Ugh.
Oh lordy.
And so
That's
this is
awesome.
also, I can just grab this and run out of the house.
Right.
So now I'll break down the food categories in a nice presentation.
This young lady's amazing.
I know, isn't she? Yeah, we
Absolutely.
have our rotational preps. We have 2 things, but that's a great idea.
Poor
2
CR.
cabinets. It's so hilarious what Todd
He's
said.
hungry already.
Might as well walk in the. Yep, go ahead, CR. Because if we talk about food, we know we're gonna do it to you, make you hungry. But
I'll meet you in the kitchen, CR.
having the shot, I know she's a prepping workout, isn't she? She's amazing.
I couldn't even begin to grab the containers of food I have stored.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I mean,
Mr.
just like
Bud.
a to-go container, I think is a great idea. Like what she mentioned.
Mhm.
I don't think we have like just something I can grab. My main thing is make sure you have all your necessary paperwork near your door
Yes.
and waterproofed so you can,
I have a paperwork box too.
yeah, we did that a while back.
Yeah.
I still need to
I
go through it
have
again and make sure everything's there.
like the
You had
papers
what?
for the house and the insurance and things like that are all in a fireproof, waterproof
Yeah, I
box
need the fireproof. I don't have the
that you can
fireproof
just
up yet.
grab and run.
Yes, we do have that.
Just make sure you have the key with it.
right. Oh my god. Yeah, that's kind of important. Yeah, that and birth certificates are very important.
Uh-huh.
Have them ready to go with you, especially in this day and age with, so much of that identity theft going on.
So I'm going to start with beverages. I have some Cure packets, which is electrolyte mix,
Looks good.
coconut water, pink Himalayan salt, vegetable juice, monk fruit extract, stevia extract, teas, mostly for me. That's kind of a me
Yeah.
package.
Yeah.
Snacks, we have
I
our
love
dried
my
fruit
tea.
leathers
Nice. Yep.
and another version of that.
Mm-hmm.
Freeze dried fruit because I'm looking for stuff that can kind of sit in this
That's
box for
look
a
at where that's
year.
from for me. That's
Oh,
what I
is
got.
this the China stuff?
Might be.
It says China. Okay, we're gonna rotate that out and find something better.
I know. But I mean, like the
Terrible.
price is so good. It's
I can't.
stinks.
I'm gonna look at my other grocery store because that stinks. Dried fruit. I
Oh,
only
that's a
have
great idea.
a couple kids that'll do that. Not all the kids
Right.
will do that.
I'm the one that eats the dried fruit usually. Plus, I figured you could always crush it up and use it like a sugar or like a topping over something if you want something sweet.
Yes.
This
This
is a
is a-
gluten-free cracker.
Oh yeah, those are good. Those are good. I like the almond ones too. The almond, but they're usually I have to wait for them to go on sale. The
Right.
almond flour. That's a great idea, Grumpus. But I mean, if we're facing like a shift scenario, do you have your hard copies to go to? Like if
You
everything,
really need them because if you can't access
yeah,
electric, you cannot access you can't
the
turn a
document.
computer on. Yeah.
Right. Yep. Yeah, any of the instant foods too. Yeah, the freeze dried instant are great. Like what Shawnee was
Mhm.
saying, you have your hot water in your thermos and you can make it, or you have another thermos where you can actually make the meal and just let it sit. You've been working on your small food box. Yeah.
Did you hear Carol?
Hello.
I think he
Handsome.
does. I believe he hears you because he pops up here, starts looking around.
Hello, handsome boy. Oh, are you cleaning yourself for me? Please don't do the butt, though. Let's not do the butt while we're live. My daughter had to come out because Rezzy, our dog, came over and wanted to snuggle with me on the couch. And so I picked her up. She's like, I just had to tell you, don't let her, kiss you because she was just cleaning her butt. I'm like, thank you so much. 'Cause, yeah,
Oh no.
I don't like that part about animals. That's why I don't like that often getting kissed on the face by her because I never know if she's snuck a little kiss on her butt prior to. To survive
Mhm.
here, stock up on pew pew ammo, dried onions, and so as for gear we got, and my wife could sell.
What if
Yeah,
she
you
just
guys can catch your stuff. I mean, okay, you too, Grumpus on Fire. I'll try and stop by before I hit the sack because tonight I'm supposed to get to bed a little earlier.
Good night, Grumpus.
Never seems to work. So awesomeness. Yeah, you
So
should.
far, I have 2 quarts of dehydrated onions,
That's awesome.
and I have over a quart of dehydrated cayenne peppers,
Oh
and I'm not
wow.
even halfway through them yet.
Homestead Chris loves cayenne. He'd be all over that. That's amazing.
So I know this is very bad. This is for my husband. I don't want to hear any comments about it.
Yep. Don't come for her. She didn't send for you.
It is not for me. It is
Yeah.
his thing that he grew up with and he likes, and it's
I
comforting.
used to
and
like those. I didn't know better.
it's his thing.
I
You
buy
know
them
what?
too.
If you're hungry enough and there's nothing else available,
Right.
I know. The
We used
kids
to get the Lipton. We used to get the Lipton packs and yep, saltines. That was our.
kids will eat
Mhm.
this. I
They
know they will eat
will?
this.
Oh, good.
So that's in there. Okay, here's a family meal. We have our buttery home
Mm-hmm.
style mashed
Mhm.
potatoes,
I love those.
a can of carrots.
Mm-hmm.
Barry, look away. It's beef. Shredded beef. So
Keystone,
beef
everybody
potato.
buys Keystone.
Yeah, it's a nice little meal.
So that's one meal option. Then we have a can of chicken and chicken flavored noodles. It does have a little
Mhm.
bit of like veggie flavor in it.
Right.
And I also have a rice and quinoa mix.
Right.
I think this one's ready to eat. Like you don't have to cook it for a long time. 60
Oh, okay.
seconds. 60
Yeah.
seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The ready rice, roasted chicken,
Mhm.
and a can of chicken. These are all we want it to cook fast and easy,
Right.
right? We don't want to use a bunch of power and we don't want to use a bunch of water. Here's another vermicelli 4 cheese
Yeah.
with a can of shredded pork.
That's great that you have the meals put together.
And
That's
then I
great.
have a breakfast option. We just add water to this pancake mix,
Those
and
are
I
great.
have
The
the
complete.
the dried potato. I couldn't think of the word.
Oh, I've never
Hash
seen the
brown.
hash brown
You
version.
just add
Cool.
water and let it sit, and then you cook it.
Cool.
Uh-huh. Oh, they're pretty
This
good
is
too.
like we could eat for a day or 2
Yeah.
if I
Yeah.
have to get out of here or I'm stuck here, whatever.
Right.
That's
And
my
PB&J goes a long way too with crackers. If you can.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we did. We did a bunch, and even like flavored peanut butters, like as a treat, because they're still getting their
Well,
protein.
it's like, I mean, let's put some nut butter in a date.
Yeah.
Let's eat some dried apricots. Let's get our nut mixes out.
Exactly.
You know, you don't have to open the fridge for that.
Exactly.
They are.
Oh, you like it, and with the dried onions.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I actually watched somebody yesterday. I thought, oh yeah, I like that too, but I never thought to can it. She was saying they're like I don't do soy, like the vegetable stock. A lot
Mm.
of them that are pre-done have soy, and I can't do soy. So she was making actually for her family. And she said this is one of their favorites now, and it's versatile. Is onion stock, and she uses, of course, a lot of the scraps from the onions and just makes onion stock and cans that up, and it can go either way. It can be for chicken, it can be for turkey, it can be for beef,
Oh,
pork.
yeah. Yeah, you
It's
just
very versatile.
whenever you're cutting up an onion and you have like those extra bits that you're not going to use, just throw them in a bag and put them in the freezer. Same way with carrots and celery and all that good stuff. And then it makes a good veggie stock.
Hey, Bob. Yeah, I haven't.
Hi,
I'm
Bob.
gonna try and do that, and then strain it off. Like, how long do you usually do you put it? She had hers in that electric cooker, the roaster, that I still need to get. Our sweet friend was like, "You need to get one of those
I have 2 of those because I use them like
because you're a
crazy.
canner." Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
you made
Bob.
it over there, Bob.
Oh,
Awesome.
okay. Enjoy your time, Bob. I know you will. Hope everything works out
Yes.
with the family this time.
So this is kind of related to this conversation. It's a jump box. So like if you don't want to take your jumper cables and hook it up from a car to jump your battery, you take this box with you. Here's why I'm
saw it
showing
later.
it. It has this on it, and it is a cigarette lighter
Yes.
plug-in. Well, this is an old one. They make them now supposedly with the outlet. So this is a battery with
Right.
an outlet up to a certain amount of volts. Is that how I talk about it? Maybe. Which I kind of want to get one now to have
Yeah.
portable power to plug
Right.
something
Yeah.
into.
Right. And that was an old school one, and they didn't even think like
This is old. Yeah.
no, but I mean, like back then we had the capability.
Mhm.
So I'm
Yeah,
really
put it on
wondering what are they holding back now that we can do for portable power that we don't know about. I have a bag in my freezer for veg trimmings,
Yes.
bones, and extra bits. Yep. Actually, oh my gosh, I can't think for a darn tonight. Maureen was talking about that. It was called something like, was it bucket soup or something like that? And they would do that. It was
Man.
whatever went into the bucket in the freezer. Then at the end of the week with her kids, all her kids that she had, they would make soup out of it. And yeah, name stock tastes different each time. Yep, that's what she was saying. And the kids loved it. They thought it was just like one of the best. Hey, Ian, welcome. Yeah, Shawnee's got some good stuff, right, Bob? I'm so proud of her. I was
Well,
not.
now we have a generator that we
Hey,
turned on
Stephanie.
today, but we could only get it work for the fuel.
Yeah,
It's dual fuel. So
right.
we did the fuel, ran it, shut it down, made sure we plugged something into it to make sure it was putting out power. Switched it over to propane. We can't get it to work.
Oh no.
I'm gonna have to go online and figure out what's happening. Is it I need to
Right.
prime it longer? I think we had everything on the right,
Did you guys do the suds test like you do with, like I have to do with this thing
Dude,
I put
so
together?
my husband, he had like the regulator upside down, and I was like, we're just gonna put this away, go have supper, and we'll come back tomorrow because
Yeah,
you're not thinking clearly.
right.
So
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad to see you too. And we are fine. Ann didn't get to see me last night. We had tornadoes hit above and tornadoes hit to the west of us, but thank God, like all those prayers for us kept us safe because our area didn't get hit. That was crazy. It was like close to 40 tornadoes that actually happened, and there was over almost 140 that were warnings. Never in the history of any of our
Perfection
hurricanes.
baking.
the guy that was on
Hey,
earlier,
Bacon.
I don't remember. What was that guy's
Did
name?
you say Bacon? Wait, did you just say Bacon's here?
ARD.
Oh, ARD, yeah.
Perfection baking.
Oh, okay. Perfection Baking. Sorry, I thought she said Bacon was here. Hey, Perfection Baking. And they couldn't find
That's
him. I'm
probably
like,
just my southern accent coming through.
it's also my processing. It's because I've already taken my meds, and one of them is, and I didn't know this, when you take progesterone that is the bioidentical, it makes you very tired. It never did that with the synthetic to me ever. But the bioidentical, it's like it knocks me out.
Uh-oh.
Did you move yet, Barry? Anne's wondering.
I'm sorry,
Almost, right? Anne's asking if you've moved yet.
no,
Not quite.
100%, no.
Not 100%. I think Barry's having a little snacky snack after we start talking about all the food.
I just grabbed some juice.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I was thinking you might have grabbed your ice cream and had it sitting in your lap.
don't you dare.
What's that one? Raspberry lemonade?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't eat any of that anymore. Eats a hole in my stomach. Like if I make it, I'm okay because I can water it down to what I can handle, but I have to water those down.
So good.
They are good, yeah. I like raspberry. Generator a couple of weeks ago. Good for you. Yeah, that's the one thing too. Like I didn't know my husband wasn't servicing ours all these years. I just assumed, and you know what that does.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't see it either, but I'm not near there. You're closer, I guess, to it than I am. I'm not sure what hit Broward, Tuck. The one that was in Wellington was the one to our west, and also the northwest one was the Royal Palm Beach, and then we found out about the Fort Pierce one, which was north of us. That was crazy. That was really crazy. And the one in Wellington went towards Royal Palm. If it would have just gone east, it could have hit us.
Shawnee,
Pretty much.
on your, you talk about your generator?
Yeah.
Okay. There should be a black rubber, it almost looks like it might stick out about that far, and you push it, and that's what primes it, so that brings fuel into the carburetor.
I'll have to look for that.
Like
Okay.
press it maybe about 5 or 6 times, and then try to start it.
Okay.
Yes, please check out Shawnee Groves and everybody who's been up on the panel and each other. And you might learn something from one another. We all kind of teach each other things. That's for sure. That's what I like about these. It's like a big, how do you say that? Now that my brain is not working, brainstorming session. Like lives are like big brainstorming sessions, and that's what I love about them sometimes. Like, yeah, I've got to get one of the I used to have them. My dad used to have a big one, like your metal one, Shawnee. Help me. I'm really bad.
We're talking about grills?
No. Your thermos.
Oh, thermos.
I don't have a metal one. I don't have the old school ones anymore. My dad had a plastic one that he would take, and I don't really want to deal with plastic if we're using hot water.
This is like stainless steel or
Yeah,
metal.
yours is really nice. I'd like to
What
get
these
one
are
of
made
those.
out of.
It's a nice one. Why is he pulling out cast iron? Because he's getting ready to cook. Heard distant learning grading. You were. It was close to you, Tuck. Yikes. Yeah, I kept listening for that sound and the train sound too, and I'm so glad we never heard it. Sun Poncho said, "I'm going."
You'll never forget it once you do hear it.
Yeah, no, it seems to be getting crazier and crazier. Even here in Minnesota, we've had more hail and wind damage, it seems, in the last few years. Yep. And they want to blame that on us, but they have had a cloud preparation program where
Yes.
the 1940s they've been messing with our weather. At least that we know about.
They want to
we
blame
know
it on
of.
us and our cows.
We
Yeah.
know of. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh yeah. Well, don't you just love all these northern lights that are making it all the way down into the Gulf?
Mm-hmm. How about our
Gee, I
glowing
wonder why
water?
so soon after all these hurricanes. I
Mhm.
wonder what's causing that.
Right.
Mm.
How about the glowing water that's off our coast with the waves that are in formations that mean they're using some kind of sonic device?
Mm-hmm.
I saw that and I was like, damn, that's scary.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
scary. But I don't know if that's also something like a scrambling something for, because we have subs off our coast We've always had them. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
it was like when they surfaced over in Cuba, people were like, oh my gosh. I'm like, they've always been there.
Yeah.
Most of us in Florida have known about them even like since the 1980s. They were doing stuff, playing war games in our waters. But yeah, I wondered too if that's what it was, like a scrambling or some kind of thing from that, not just messing with our.
Well,
But
it could
that's
be,
like
could be too.
secondary,
There were some attempts made because of the storms. They thought they would get easy access
right? Right.
too. So that could
Easy.
be.
Yeah, check like where you're located and make sure you know about your winds because we have some friends that they've put theirs up and they're on a mountaintop in Kentucky and
Doesn't work.
it blew it away one time. It was terrible. And then another time too, you can't have animals around it because they can tear into it. So it really has to work with where you're located and what you have around it. But yeah, it would be great to have something so you can insure your garden. I know David the Good uses it for tomatoes now that he's in lower Alabama. And he likes it a lot, but of course he prefers to grow outside of it. Oh, okay, sweetheart. Good night, LGGG love. Thank you. If
The
you guys haven't,
Amish here use them a lot.
yeah, if you haven't seen LGG's short, she has a short of sea turtles coming up to them, and it looks like they got to feed them or something because they're just coming right up to them in this lagoon while she was traveling.
Oh,
It's amazing. So
that
check
would
out her
be so
channel just to
awesome.
see that short, and if you aren't following her, she's got some really neat stuff too.
No, thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, there is, I think, a grant, but then they know about it. That's the only thing is then they know you have one because you came to them for
They
money.
do, and there are stipulations along with that.
Yeah, because I
And
remember. Go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say I had looked into it and thought about getting one, and I was like, never mind.
Oh, Tuck, thank you for that. That makes sense. It was a secret to me, Tuck. I didn't know about that one. I knew about the subs from that country with the big R that have always been here. Try to let the propane have time to reach the igniter. Oh, yeah, maybe it didn't have enough time. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Great to see Barry Duncan. Oh, thank you. It was, yeah, I'm glad for my guests that have come up because they've definitely made it great. Winds, yes, almost from the north here, straight from the North Pole. Woo! Yikes.
No, thank you.
No, I know. It would kill me. Oh, and the greenhouse made of steel and the Lexa. Yeah, those are so nice. I would love a greenhouse, but it would be a steam house. Like I've said, it would just steam everything to death here. So I need more of a shade cloth house. Or move south. That probably would be a better plan, creative redundancy. Move south or try and get out on that island with the diva. Because she's got the zone. She's got a Central Florida zone. Greenhouse too, but simply knows. Yeah, yeah.
Amazing how that works. Microclimates.
I know, isn't it crazy? That's crazy because she's also out there in the Pacific Ocean, which is freezing. Such a strange microclimate for sure. I totally agree.
Yeah, I'm down here in the middle of the country.
Okay,
and
Kate, Kentucky Goblin. Have a great night.
Yeah, we get
See you later, neighbor.
we get everything in weather-wise. I mean, it's like everything.
Right. Yeah, I think our microclimate here might have helped with these storms, pushed them away. The tornadoes. It's a weird microclimate, just right in this area where I live. Because sometimes you'll see rain go all the way around us. It's like everybody gets rain, and we get like maybe a spit and nothing, and everybody else is getting rain though. So it's definitely a microclimate.
I have literally watched the rain coming up our road and get within a half mile of us, and it's like the clouds just parted and went around us, and it wouldn't even be a half mile up the other side of us. You'd see it go back together and start raining again. on down the road. Like
That's
we
crazy.
literally were surrounded by a bubble.
Oh, that's so crazy. You had sunflowers and the snow was coming right behind sunflowers.
Mhm.
Wow. The other thing, we hit waterable and then the water and then non-perishable foods. Shawnee just so graciously showed quite a few of those. Also jerky, which I forgot. Those of you who make your own, great. But pick up some jerky. That's great to have around if you like it. We were talking about light sources, and Shawnee said, like me, I can't have candles, but we've got quite a few flashlights. I still would love more. I showed last night, and I don't have it in the room now, but I have gotten at Home Depot during Black Friday. You can get, it's like the mechanic light where it hooks on to the inside of your hood, but this one also has a magnet, and I can just put it on the fridge in a room, hang it somewhere, and we just use it as a light to light up a whole room. They're so bright. You want to move north?
Bob,
try
I
and-
put some dehydrated cubed potatoes in a meatloaf night before last. Actually, it turned out pretty good.
You did. Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds gluten free too. That's something I could have instead of breadcrumbs. That's a great idea.
Mhm.
Yeah, dehydrated potatoes are great. Yeah, she showed those. I have
Mhm.
some of those. The thing
I-
though, like I like your
Mhm.
ready-made rice idea because it's like everybody stocks rice, but you're gonna
Yeah,
need
this has the seasoning and
yeah.
it'll probably take more than 1 minute when if you're just working with thermos hot water, not,
Mhm.
but yeah.
Too funny. Just while I clean this kitchen. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I like that idea. I just have to look for ones, and they do have them. I've gotten them before that are for me without all the like additives, like Knorrs. I can't touch Knorrs because most
No,
of them
that's
have
full of
MSG. Yeah,
I mean, if you want just like a quinoa medley,
yeah,
60-second,
right,
that would be more your alley probably.
right. There's some other ones too that I can have. I can't remember. I can't remember the brand. It's like an off brand, but it's halal and probably kosher also. But it's like that. Like you can heat it in the microwave for 90 seconds kind of stuff. And it's pretty good. It's actually made with a chicken bone broth. Trying to think what else. Yeah, the solar charge lights. Bob's talked about those too on his channel before, the pathway lights. I've gotten some smaller ones this time around and got those, the fairy lights, which I can't wait to see if those actually work because they're so cute. For those of you who didn't make it in last night, it's so cute. These are actually solar powered fairy lights. So like for
Mhm.
kids, because you want to make it kind of a fun thing for them. Unlike I did my first time around with the hurricane, I probably, passed my anxiety on to my daughter, and I didn't mean to, of course. You also want to make sure too that you have an emergency radio on hand. They have the hand crank or
Mhm.
solar radio. We have battery operated right now. I had ordered the solar and it was crap, so I have to get another one and try it.
Ours
It was a
is
solar.
battery and crank.
Yeah, I want to get both.
We talked
Like
about
that.
that with Barry's live on Wednesday on Storms, Radios, and Cats if you want to go check it out.
Yeah. We I didn't, thankfully, Serena. It didn't hit that close to us, thankfully. But a tornado could have knocked out our power, and thankfully it didn't. I was actually really surprised. Because I mean, like a fly could fart is what I've said before here and knock out our power. I've seen it happen with just really bad rainstorms.
Mhm.
Too old and beat up to learn how to survive winter. I don't think. Yeah, right. For us, yeah, old Floridians down here. Yeah, northern Florida gets cold. Tug, it freezes in Ocala. They get frozen pipes up there. The break from food didn't last long. Cool, Bob. He's gonna install some in his house overseas. Yeah, and they're just fun. Like for my kids, I thought it would make it more fun. And then I have those other solar lights, which these aren't charged anymore because they've been in the dark, but keep them outside or even keep them under a bright light. My other ones are out in the kitchen under a bright light. And then these were the small step ones that they
Mm.
had. But they were out of everything else in the camping section. And that's where I just started looking for alternative ideas just to back up our backups kind of thing.
Mhm.
But those lanterns are great that Walmart sells in their camping section if you can get them ahead of time. Hey, Bayou! Yeah, Jacksonville gets cold. See there, Tuck? They get cold. But it's not going to be as cold as like up north where you guys are.
Yeah, I just got a new winter coat because my coat was 6 or 7 years old and it wasn't happening anymore.
I've got to get a new winter coat this year.
It's a hard thing.
Right. Right.
I shrink,
I
so
have-
mine is like way too big now.
Yeah.
I have
It
winter
swallows
coat.
me.
I have a winter coat that I've probably had for like 10 years because I've gotten to worn it like
Yeah.
twice,
Yours doesn't get yeah.
twice at 10 years. Actually, I got to wear it actually going up to visit my parents. Thanks.
Oh, that
Mine's
sounds
like a red wool swing coat, and I'm just not going to
Andrew.
rip it. Next time I go back,
I
Mom,
can't have that kind of stuff with my kids right now, but it's a wonderful tool.
yeah, seal oil lamp. Yeah, ours busted right before Hurricane Wilma.
We had them and my kids broke them.
I
Yes.
like to get the old metal bottom ones like we used to have when I was young. Hey, Cornfed Life, welcome in.
What my grandma had was it was just mounted up on the wall. So you would
Mm,
light it and it would be out of reach and it would
right.
project.
Like the old Victorian ones. My folks in Sheffield had 64 last night and they were so excited. Yeah. Or Chiefland, that's what it is. I read that wrong. Like I'm suddenly English. Had a chiropractor just on Tuesday and we'll have another one on Monday afternoon. I slept until 2:35.
Hello.
Oh wow, Serena, yeah. To tell you about the storm, you mean? Are you guys talking on that radio? That's another thing that Barry actually could talk about maybe tomorrow night a little bit is comms. You need something to
Mhm.
communicate with people.
I
Before this
didn't hear
hit,
you. I had to speak it down.
before this hit, they were telling people how they could go into their phones and hook up to satellite. I refused to do it because I was afraid T-Mobile was
Okay.
going to charge me an arm and a leg. I just was like, that just was weird because it wasn't on TV. It was on social media, and I had only seen it in a couple places, like the Ticky
Yeah.
Tick. So I wasn't really sure about it.
Go ahead.
But they're getting that. They have that capability now where our phone can become a satellite phone. You won't need a separate
I
phone for
heard
that.
them revving it a little hard and getting on it.
I'm gonna just mute you, Barry, because
It's doing
my
weird things
ADHD can't do the
working.
both. Sherwood for me. I'm in no condition. Yeah, chopping firewood. I can't either. Yeah, there you go. If it's a good coat to make it last longer, just put a hoodie under it. Mm-hmm.
I already donated it.
Oh, I have one that my mom gave my grandmother, and I'm just like having a hard time what to do with it.
This coat was a 1X, and I'm like kind of in between a medium and a large now.
Oh, good for
So
you.
it's it's miles too big.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Serena. Are they adjusting your neck? Because sometimes people had carpal tunnel. It actually was their neck. It was a pinched nerve that goes all the way down your arm.
Bob wants the link.
I'm actually getting ready to get off, Bob. I'm gonna I have to take my daughter. I'm taking her to Epcot. We're at about 2 hours now, and I was just doing it because I'm close to my 4,000 hours. And Diva, I was hoping she could stop in, but she wasn't able to do it tonight because she was doing a job. I'm just listening, trying to stay away. Just got home from work, and I'm trying to get a batch of something. Ooh, yummy. Good for you. Well, I won't be keeping you awake much longer, so I hope you've got backup plans templating. Yeah, sorry, Mom. Anyway,
I have
on that note,
tons
actually,
and tons of oil lamps. They're not seal oil though.
yeah, we don't have seal oil. Ours was like that red oil. Yeah,
I just
Good.
got the clear, non-smelling.
right. Watching a big screen
But
couches.
I buy every old lamp I
Thank you,
see
sweetheart.
at a yard sale or resale shop or
Yeah, Bob, you could do the after show. I'm serious. I am. I'm getting ready to say goodnight.
Thanks for
there you go,
having
Bob.
me.
Yeah, you're welcome. I love you
Yes, thanks
guys.
for
Thank you for coming up. We can talk a little bit more
thank
about
you.
that, but Barry can too. He can talk about the comms because he knows more about it, and things like that. And Shawnee, thank you so much for bringing out like visuals. I'm very big on visuals, and I just had mine put away. And when you said you wanted to show yours, I was like, hee hee,
Mhm.
yay! So everybody have a good night. Oh, you'll be.
He will be in the air. Oh, he's not home, honey.
Oh, he's like in between.
Well, I
Yeah,
thought he already made it to the
I
next
did
place.
too. I'm so
Maybe not.
confused.
Bye.
Sorry about that, girl.
That's okay. Shawnee was asking where the after show is. If you're still up, Barry, if you want to do the after show, I have to actually kick off and head to bed because I'm supposed to be up and on the road at before 6 a.m.
Oh
tomorrow.
yes, Tibor. I have lots and lots of extra wicks. I get my wicks from the Amish. So
What was it? Oh, for your oil lamps.
yes.
Oh, I'm glad you did too, Anne. Yeah, it was good to see you.
Watch the replay.
Yes, please. Appreciate it. Oh, okay. Oh, you're taking a short, okay, plane ride. All right. Well, I hope that goes well, Bob, and you guys will get in and everything's good for you. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a great night, and I will talk to you later. Bye.